dangerous assault on voters and on democracy.
This does not deserve to be treated as a serious matter or a serious audit. It is an irresponsible political trick. It is a sham. It is a cavalier and dangerous assault on voters and on democracy. Joining us now is Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo. She's the chief executive of the county, the most populous county in the great state of Texas. Judge Hidalgo, it's an honor to have you with us tonight. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
So we learned today that you had no heads up about this. You found out in the Secretary of State's office press release, just like everybody else. Since that mysterious announcement late at night, have you or the county been given any additional information as to what this is going to entail?
We have not. And that just tells you how nakedly political all of this is, how obviously fraudulent all of this is. We have to remember we had incredibly successful elections here in Harris County in 2020. We had innovations that led to record turnout from both parties, the highest in 30 years. I mean, it was beautiful. And since then, no evidence has come out that would in any way cause the need for this kind of audit. All we've seen is President Trump exhorting the state to, or Abbott, to have this audit. And you ask, okay, the office sits vacant, and so who really did this? The governor appoints the Secretary of State. So that gives you a clue. And the reality of it is Texas is being run from Mar-a-Lago, and that is dangerous. And it's not appropriate. It's frankly, it is dangerous, and it's extremely, extremely concerning.
You spoke very passionately about this today. You said what Republicans are doing with audits across the country, and indeed in your county now. You said it's the strategy of one party to burn it all to the ground when their candidate doesn't win. Now that you're up against that, and that's your county in which you are the highest elected official. What does fighting that look like? What does standing up to that look like? We've been talking about not underestimating the corrosive impact of these things and not appeasing people who want to go along with these things when we understand the danger of them. But what does confrontation look like? What does fighting it look like?
Well, there are different pieces to it. First, it is seeing this for what it is. We heard about the Cyber Ninja audit in Arizona. This similar thing is happening in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, now here. So recognizing that trend, recognizing in the state of Texas, it's not just this audit. The state just passed legislation that creates this veil of criminality around election. Basically, it sets traps so that innocent mistakes that routinely happen and routinely are dealt with by offices of elections administration, that those are sort of pegged as purposeful fraud and prosecuted as such. And now we see this. So on the one hand, obviously it's pandering. The folks who are doing this know that it helps with their base. But there's something more sinister there and more concerning, which is that this tears down trust in the election systems. And in doing that, it conveniently sets Republicans up to question the results of elections they don't like. So we have to call that for what it is. And we have to make sure that we don't create some sort of false equivalency. On the one hand, there's this audit. On the other hand, counties oppose it. No, all of us have to recognize this is a cynical effort, a tragic one at that, and it tampers with democracy. As far as what specifically we can do, I have our county attorney here looking at legal options. It's not clear to us that there is a statute under which the state can conduct this audit, but we also recognize that the state Supreme Court will be very friendly to whatever claims the state makes. We also are calling on legislators not to fund this. This is the time where they should look at their moral compass, look at who they are as public servants, the legislators in Austin, and not fund this audit because they will need to approve the funding for it. And finally, we need the federal government to act. I mean, this has gone too far. We had legislators break quorum, functionally move to D.C. for over a month. I've been fighting tooth and nail for, since the election. Remember, they closed our mail ballot locations. They've interfered every step of the way. And so this should be another call to action. We've got the writing on the wall. We got to get off our chairs and get moving on all this.
Harris County, Texas, Judge Lina Hidalgo.